Let's try that again. So this first one says writing sets of integers using set builder notation and roster forms. So think of it this way: you have a set, and you have a couple different ways to represent that set. So one of them is set builder form, where this first one, by example, is you read it x such that, and so the curly brace there says you're talking about all the values x, then this little vertical line means such that x meets this given condition. So in this case, x is an integer and x is greater than -3. So let's just remember, what are the integers? This is a quick reminder: integers, those go in the positive and negative direction. So to represent the integers, I always write 0, 1, 2, 3, dot, 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 -1, comma, -2, comma, -3, dot, 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 in that direction. So when we're talking about integers, that's what we're talking about here. So x is an integer, so it's one of those numbers, and it's greater than -3. So roster form means we're going to use a little curly brace. Greater than -3 means -2, then would be the first one. -1, 0, then 1, and you can write 2, 3, 4, you can write as many as you want. But notice it says if you use the dot, 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 the ellipses to indicate a pattern, make sure you list at least 4 elements. So -2, -1, 0, 1. I could write 2 if I wanted, I could write 3 if I wanted, but 4 is enough. So dot, 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 and then close the curly brace. So that's the roster form for how you would list all of the integers that are greater than -3. This next one, you're given the roster form and you're asked to write the set builder form, but it's given you a drop down, a multiple choice. So the roster form here is -8, -7, -6, -5, and -4, and that's it. No dot, 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 so that means it doesn't continue. And we have to look at it and say, well, it's definitely not greater than or equal to -9. It's not just less than -2. It's not between -10 and -2. And then that last one, -9 less than y less than 3. So that means greater than -9 and less than -3. So it actually turns out to be that one. But I also want to say this, because if you were just writing this and you weren't given multiple choice, there's another correct answer. You could say y such that y is an integer, and I could say -8 less than or equal to y less than or equal to -4. So that would also work. And I'm not trying to be silly, but you could write another one. You could say y such that y is an integer, and you could write -8 less than or equal to y less than -3. And you could do one more where you wrote the -9 on this side and less than or equal to -4 on that side. So all I'm saying is, if you started in set builder notation, all 3 of these, meaning this one that they've given you as the correct answer, and this one, and this one, and there's one more variation, that would all end up with this same roster form if you thought about what it meant. So that's why it's important to think about those things carefully.